You're good to go. Good morning, everybody. Ed Lara here. Thanks for coming and watching the Tee-Ching channel. Why is it spelled that way? Because we're talking about t-shirt printing, specifically garment printing, which is a different process, relatively new. It's been around for maybe 3 to 5 years. And so I had a couple of ideas, and hopefully I can get some more from the class, for using it as a teaching tool. So we're going to go through that. And first, I want to tell you a little bit about garment printing. So to do that, I'll have to show you what I'm talking about. So I'll slide myself over so you can see my garment printer and the heat press that goes along with it. So the garment printer is just like an oversized printer, just like you would have at home for printing on paper. Obviously, the difference here is that it prints on t-shirts. It prints on any material that'll actually absorb the ink. So, I've used canvas on occasion. I can do blends, like 50-50 blends works as well. So, in terms of the technology, we're eco-friendly. My company is called Green Tea Industries. It's a water-based ink. It doesn't have the chemicals associated with the regular screen print process. And there are some other benefits too. So it has 3 different platens, which are the platforms I use for printing t-shirts. I'm using the adult size right now, as you see on the machine. There's a smaller size for youth, and then there's a toddler one, for baby wear and stuff like that. I can also do sleeve prints with the other platen that I have. And so the process is really easy. It hooks up via USB, just like a regular printer does. And you just send the files over, using the print driver that comes with the machine. It prints your image. The adult platen, you can print it from 14 to 16 inches is the max printable surface. So once you do that, you send the image to the machine. It prints it out just like it does a regular printer. And then the last process is using the heat press, which cures the ink. So when it gets out of the machine, it's wet. And by heating it for 35 seconds at 356 degrees, you have a finished product after the 35 seconds. So I wanted to show you a couple of samples of the things that I do. So let me go ahead and get that. Before I do that, I'll show you the platen. This is the smaller size for the youth. And you have the toddler size. So that's what I was talking about. So the next thing is it'll just vary the type of jobs that I get just based on my clients and the circumstance. Here's one sample. Someone had a birthday. I think he turned 50, and they all made shirts. He's the boss of a company, and so everybody made shirts with his baby picture. He had 2 different shots. I thought that was fun. I have a couple other samples. Let's see. Let me get those. So there's that. I made this one yesterday, just on a whim. I thought there's an idea for a shirt. You can work with kids interested in graphic design, and they can come up with it whatever they want. Here's another sample of my own company. This is my logo. Green Tea Industries is what we call her. You can see us online, greenteaindustries.com. And one other sample is a client of mine. You can see that gradients and multicolors is not a problem for this machine, which is one of the benefits. Let's see. One other thing, I'll leave that one to talk about that a little later. But so my first idea was printing for elementary school students. And one idea I had was this. For elementary school, maybe you can kind of incorporate this just as it has a 7 on it. And then it has a room number if you want to keep track of the shirt so they don't wander off or something. But I was thinking for elementary schools, maybe you can incorporate math with, I'm trying to get the angle right, but you guys understand what I'm talking about. incorporate math with PE. Maybe you have them all wear this shirt. Maybe you can cut off the sleeve so it's easier to put on. They can just kind of wear it as like a smock or something. Um, and then have them line up and create equations or be the answer to um, a problem or something. So you can get them moving around in the playground. I also did this kind of sample where you can incorporate a number and then also a shape, so you can group kids according to the shapes, for getting people together in groups. And then in terms of high school or maybe even adult education, you can show them how to use this technology and actually create their own business, right? Their own product line, any ideas that they might have. So that's what I wanted to show you next, in terms of turning this into a graphic design course. And I'm going to show you just something as an example for high school kids or adults. Maybe use that technology to start showing them about graphic design, right? And you can start a beginner course on how to use Photoshop. That's what we're looking at here. I'll just give you a quick sample. One of the big things that people like to do is learn how to remove background from images, right? And just a quick sample here. Obviously on a t-shirt, you don't want big square, black boxes, because it's just not, appealing on a shirt. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that just by using the magic wand, and you can get into the, details of how to use this thing. But, that right there would probably be a good t-shirt design. And so just wanted to show you a quick sample of what you can do. But I have a finished product here. My eldest kid goes to Tincture, and her mascot is the Tincture Tiger. So taking that, you can show them how to work with Photoshop and do some of these other tricks with text and manipulate fonts and stuff like that. So that would be an example of a finished product. And so I want to show you what that looks like after it gets sent to my printer. So we'll go ahead and do that. I've sent the image to the printer, and now we'll just show you that process in action. I'm just going to hit the print here because I've already queued it up. I've already sent the file to the machine. And again, it's just the same kind of process that a normal printer would work. And again, it's eco-friendly. If you're not aware of screen prints, every color requires a screen, so the setup fees for something that's so rich in terms of the colors that we just saw would be cost prohibitive. That's the benefit of my machine. It might be even good for conceptual ideas. You don't have to, if you go to a screen printer normally, they're looking for a minimum quantity of 50 shirts, and then setting all that up is very expensive, just to get a couple things. But if you had one idea for something and you wanted to see how it's sold, on a shopping cart, website or something, this would be the tool that you would use. You can display one item, and then if it picks up, you can order more. It's not a replacement for screen printing, because at some point screen printing does fare better than my machine in terms of large quantities, and I'm talking, and I'll refer people to other clients for screen printing when they give me quantities that are over like 250, because that's kind of the breaking point for my machine. But most people don't order that large a quantity, so it works out. So we've already finished our print. I'll just show you the last process, which is the heat press. So I'm going to take my shirt, being very careful not to smudge, just kind of have it draped like this. I'll put it under the heat press, and like I said, 35 seconds at 356 degrees, and we're ready to go. The last thing I wanted to show you was, I have had some clients who are really picky about color matching. And so this tool, the print driver actually has a palette of colors, and I'll just showing you a couple there. And each one of those squares has a RGB value, which is it's a color palette within Photoshop and some of the other photo tools that allow you to match colors. And so when you have a picky client like that, it helps to have color matching so that they're satisfied with the result. So again, I'll just show you the finished product. Here we go. There's our Tincture Tiger, and you see all of those colors. So that's basically it in a nutshell. I want to thank you all for coming to pay a visit to the Tee-Ching channel, and hopefully I can hear from you with other ideas and we can do something. Thanks again.